try to do voiceovers now because putting music in a YouTube video is a pain. And basically, I just don't want to deal with this. And plus, I want to learn new skills, which storytelling, editing, things like that. It's all different skills that you realize you don't have. But once you start making content, it's like it's things that you need to know how to do. And so I'm learning. For the longest time, I've been kind of married to this idea that you can only do nail art and miniature painting on nails. And now, since we moved and since we still don't have our stuff yet, it's gonna arrive in like a month and a half. Um, so since I don't have my equipment and my tools and my brushes, and I had to get rid of most of my gel polishes because yes, when your stuff is being shipped, they don't want anything that could be potentially flammable on that ship. So you have to get rid of stuff like candles and nail polishes. Apparently also gel polishes because they can't tell the difference. Although some candles were taken, like if they are brand new, they're fine. And that's a distinction I can't quite understand. So there's a different thing somehow, but in my mind they're all the same. But anyways, so since I've been sitting here bored and without my stuff and I can't do my hobbies like I usually do, because yes, nail art is my hobby. I'm not actually a professional nail tech. So I've been sitting here bored and I was thinking about what to do and kind of like what to occupy my mind with. And then I discovered videos of other nail techs painting random stuff. And I was like, I can do that actually. So I got myself a set of cheap gel polishes and I just started to paint on the actual gel polish bottles because why not? They're super cute. They have these little bows and I am obsessed. And I am just free from this idea in my head that I need physical nails to do my art on. I can just use random stuff that's around the house. Like I still don't have things like my 3 lamps that are standing around on my desk that give the appropriate lighting for filming and this type of content. But I make do with the stuff that I do have. We're gonna have our stuff, like all of our household goods, soon. So I am hoping that the content is gonna get better from here, but we'll just see. Because everything is basically a skill that you have to learn. And once you have that skill, you have to maintain it and then perfect it. So yeah, that's definitely a journey, but it is what it is, and I am enjoying it. So before I decided to be just a content creator, I actually used to sell press-ons, like custom press-ons. I started with just normal press-ons. I would just paint them different colors, and then I started getting custom requests, and then I started getting into miniature portraits and stuff like that. And I was getting really good at it, and I was like getting a little bit more recognition and stuff with that. But then pandemic happened and then I got pregnant. And so a lot of hardships have presented themselves all at once. And I was like, oh my God, what do I do? So I've kind of been inconsistent with that. During that time, I had to step away from my job because it started to become my actual full-time job. And I just didn't know what to do instead. Like I was physically uncomfortable and in pain, and it was just like then becoming a brand new mom was super challenging. And then I started having these weird things with my hands where they would just fall asleep and like during random times, and they would hurt, like my wrists would hurt and stuff like that. And since then I've had 3 kids, and just now, with my youngest being 3, I no longer have these weird pains and aches in my hands. I am now free to paint like I used to. And so that skill is kind of there, but it definitely needs to be maintained and perfected, which is what I'm doing now. I am painting as a hobby. I am trying to get better at what I do. And hopefully you can come along on this journey with me because it is fun. It is also scary. I'm kind of like in between of wanting to share, but also not wanting to be perceived. I feel like I have things to teach people, but also at the same time, I don't feel like I'm competent to do that. Overall, it's called an imposter syndrome, and I definitely suffer from its effects. Another thing that's stopping me from just doing the things that I love and sharing those things with other people is the sense of perfectionism, which for the longest time, I thought it was a good thing to, kind of like strive to be um, perfect and to be just really good at what you do, to be an expert and to be this person people go to when they want to learn something very specific. But then I looked behind the facade and realized that being a perfectionist is actually really, really bad. Like, it stops you in your tracks. You can't do the things that you love to do because you end up overthinking everything, and you end up really completing nothing and doing nothing. And so in the end, it's just something that's very negative, and I've been trying to get rid of this urge to kind of do things perfectly, because also, like, really, if you think about it, it's not an achievable goal. You're never gonna produce something that is perfect. Perfect according to who? Like, it's not realistic. Anyway, it's hard, but I'm trying to do my best, honestly. So back to the actual subject of this video, which is painting on the gel bottles. I am doing a whole series on this. So I started with the first movie, Inside Out, and the main characters inside the brain of Riley. And I was thinking about adding characters from the second movie. Have you seen it actually? I haven't. It's still in the theaters, and I wanted to go with my toddlers, but we don't even have our car yet, and the transportation to the location of the theater is kind of tricky. So I don't know if we're gonna be able to make it there, but I really am curious to see what they did with the second movie. When my toddlers saw this bottle for the first time, when they woke up, they were they were so happy about it, because my second child is actually, she kind of connected with the character of Disgust, just because I guess Disgust is so sassy, and my toddler is also very sassy, and so she was kind of asking for a plushie like Disgust, because that's what they do. They ask for toys, like physical toys of the characters that they like. And I was like, I don't think toys exist like that, but maybe they do. But maybe not in plushie form. But anyway, she was kind of talking about Disgust, and calling her the green girl. So that was funny. And every day since the first day that they discovered the gel polish bottle, they've been asking me to paint more characters, which of course I already planned on doing, but it was just extra special for me to have um, the gel polish bottles ready for them to look at in the morning with the new character. And so now we have all 5 main characters from the first movie. And I'm thinking I'm gonna add the characters from the second movie as well. And I hope that we get to see the movie before that, but we'll see. It's been feeling really nice to have a sort of series and structure behind the art that I'm making, because other than that, I will just, paint random stuff and have no rhyme or reason for why I'm doing what I'm doing. But I feel like having a little group of paintings that go all together like that, it's been feeling kind of really cool. So I think that's what I'm gonna keep doing in the future. And if you like what you see, and if you like the idea of having a whole series on a certain subject, like, for example, all the characters from the Inside Out movie, then consider subscribing. I would very much appreciate that. I want to thank you for spending time with me, for watching my content, for subscribing. Please, if you have any questions, ask them below. The materials that I'm using are pretty much the ones that you see on screen right now. It's just gel polishes that I'm mixing together if I don't have the color that I need. And I just got a cheap set of nail art brushes from Amazon, because I wanted to have something really quick and ready for me to use right there and then, before all of my other stuff arrives, because I don't really have any other gel paints or anything like that. So I hope that helps if you had that question. But if you do have any other questions, ask away. I'll see you soon.